C1, time for the news where you are. Have a very good night.
Hello there, good evening. Doctors' claims that the Welsh NHS is broken have been dismissed by the Health Minister, but Eluned Morgan says the health system is under immense pressure. The Welsh Conservatives say NHS targets are going in the wrong direction, while Plaid Cymru said the NHS problems existed for years before the pandemic. Here's our political correspondent James Williams.
It's an NHS and social care system under huge pressure from one end to the other. It's a problem backed up by the latest figures. The target for 95% of patients in A&E to be seen within 4 hours has never been met. But as we can see here, there's been a deterioration since the start of the pandemic. Last month's figure is the worst on record. Almost 11,000 had to wait longer than 12 hours, the highest number ever. And the latest ambulance response times were also the second worst on record. It's led the Royal College of Emergency Medicine to claim the NHS is broken.
I don't think it's broken. I think we're managing to see around 200,000 people a month. That's not a broken system. There are still lots of people.
Many people not being seen in target times.
Of course there are.
People suffering.
Of course there are. But the pressure on the system is immense. And that's why we need to make sure that we see less flowing into the system, more prevention.
One of the big problems is that a lack of social care services means there are currently over 1,000 patients stuck in hospital, unable to be discharged.
Opening up the back doors of hospitals, releasing more people out into social care so that we can get to grips with the problems at the front door. These are issues that we still have not seen Welsh Government taking proper action on.
78-year-old Carol Younger from Llanbedr expects to wait 3 years for cataract surgery, one of almost 700,000 non-urgent treatments and operations waiting to be carried out in Wales. The Welsh Government will this week publish its long-awaited plan for tackling the backlog, but NHS representatives are warning the major issue is a lack of doctors and nurses.
The main issue here is not only about recruiting, but it's about retaining staff. And I think when you're under huge pressure, then it puts pressure on all those staff, and staff are looking around and think, is this the career for me?
The pandemic has exacerbated the NHS's problems, but for many years, even pre-COVID, it's been a system that's regularly struggled to cope.
A man from Cardiff who's been held by rebel fighters in Yemen for 5 years has been released, according to the Foreign Office. Luke Simons was 25 years old when he was seized in 2017. Officials say he's been taken to Oman before being flown home to his family here in Wales. The first MP to come out as transgender says he hopes to begin transitioning as quickly as possible. Jamie Wallace, the Conservative MP for Bridgend since 2019, said in a statement on Twitter last month that he has gender dysphoria and had been raped and blackmailed. He told Sky News' Sophie Ridge on Sunday programme a part of him died after the rape. The 37-year-old said he's received an incredible amount of support since he came out.
I just remember being really frightened, scared. You know, I went to a great school, I had great parents, I had great friends, but I was still very frightened. We have fights in Wales over, electoral fights and fights on the ground. So to have Plaid Cymru, to have the Greens, to have the Lib Dems, to have, everyone standing up and supporting it was great across the House. And of course, the Prime Minister himself, called me that morning and said what he said, and that was important to me.
Sport now, and in snooker, Mark Williams will face Yan Bingtao in the next round of the World Championships. 3 times champion Williams takes on the 22-year-old at the Crucible in the quarter-finals on Tuesday. Mark Williams knocked out fellow Welshman Jackson Page on Friday. Right, a look at the weather, and tonight will be dry and clear at first, but areas of cloud will build from the east. Lows are down to around 4 degrees Celsius. Then tomorrow we will see widespread patchy cloud and scattered showers moving in from the east again, and more likely to develop in the afternoon. Some brighter spells and temperatures feeling pleasant at 16 degrees Celsius. That's it from me. George Zielinski has the early updates during BBC Breakfast. From all of us on the Late Team, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Good evening. Well, it's been a bright and breezy sort of weekend for most of us, and again predominantly dry.